Mortal Kombat. Had to get that out of my system. So, Mortal Kombat 1 is finally here. It is finally among us mortals. We can finally engage in massive combat scaling across all the realms. What does Mortal Kombat mean to me specifically? This clownified badass from Chaos Realm. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since some of my earliest memories, starting with MK2 on SNES. Look at little me go, going sicko mode with Scorpion. The second game I ever played was Deadly Alliance. I was like, I don't know, 7? I was borrowing it on a PS2 that my uncle's friend had. I didn't even own the fucking game yet. But little old me went to a good old CD game exchange where I got a bunch of them for PlayStation 2 for my very own one birthday. Mortal Kombat is one of the greatest things in my life. I will die on this hill, no matter how shitty the story gets. Looking at you, Mortal Kombat 11. I wanted to dive deep within the flesh pits of this game and talk about the pros and the cons, where it shines the most bright and where they could hopefully rework and try and avoid for future titles. I will be alternating between the pros and the cons to kind of have this sense of yin and yang. Also, it just sounded really cool in my head, and I'm just gonna roll with it.
The combat.
The gameplay itself is feeling very smooth. It has super flashy combos, and man, is it addictive. I love going into Combat League and just going all in with my boy Havoc, or even Scorpion, who has some very fleshed out gameplay. I feel like everything can lead into something really big. Most of the characters are very well represented. Characters have new ways to express themselves to further their moveset. For example, Sub-Zero has like this new ice spear and a skull mace. Like, it just represents their brutality in an all new sense. It's adding to an old formula, and it looks great and it feels badass. Another example would be like Scorpion. He now has a Kusarigama.
Kusarigama. The Kusarigama is a combination of a sickle, short scythe, and a long chain with a weight attached to the end of it.
So now he has a new tool of a ninja aesthetic to match his badass rope dart / kunai. They've brought back X-rays, but they're intertwined with fatal blows. So if you have less than 30% health, you now have that extra comeback mechanic. It does feel, well implemented. I like most that they now have a startup animation to show that somebody is using it. So you can't really just throw it out like you would Aaron Black in the last game, where you have no real reaction time. It's just being thrown out there. Fuck you, Aaron, yeehaw this. But I think they bring it back nicely. It's just like Injustice, you have this whole animation, and you have enough time to react to it. Unless you're being like mid-combo, you have to think how you're gonna approach throwing this thing out there. Because if you miss, damn bro, that's gonna suck. You're gonna get punished, and you're gonna feel like that was the worst mistake of your life. So there's a lot more thought put into how you want to approach this comeback, and I'm all for it. They did not return the defense and offense meter. We are back to using a traditional 3 bars. The twist here's combo breakers are now a whopping 3 bars instead of the 2. And now some of the special moves, when enhanced, some of the special moves that have enhanced features now cost 2 bars. Wake up attacks are still here, but you'll need to find what move comes with armor to spend 1 bar with. For example, my favorite character, Havoc, has this atrocious arm swing that will make you want to suggest that you and your health bar file a divorce. You don't want to interact with Havoc, I'm telling you now. This man's a monster. Call Striker. They have new ways of defense as well. We have up blocking, which works great on an opponent who has a jumping addiction, or you just want to punish some nasty overheads. A lot of fun stuff there. There's a follow-up you could do as well. If someone jumps in and you uppercut them, you can hold up in the right trigger right as you uppercut a guy, and you'll chase him up in the air, and you can do an air combo right away. It's kind of a neat mechanic. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it costs 2 bars. Just plan accordingly. Don't just throw it out there, because you'll probably want your breakers. This game can be ruthless with combos at times. Last thing I need to bring up, it's the big one, the addition of cameo fighters. So not only do you select your main character of the playable roster, but you'll be assisted by a complimentary cameo fighter. Originally, I was very worried about the idea when I read it, but from the very first gameplay trailer, it grew on me quite fast. Seeing the way it can give a player a deeper strategy and playstyle and open up a new variety on how a person would like to approach their main character is just spectacular. I think one of my favorite things about this new system would be that it's a clever way to bring back lesser known and fan favorite characters without having to force them into the story, as well as giving them a stronger chance to return for future titles. So let's say Movado, I know he's liked, but he's not super well liked. He's not super well known. Personally, I don't really get the rope man, but hey, to each their own. I'm a Draman guy, so hey, I'm in the same boat somewhat. But that way, as a cameo, you can kind of get a new, fresh experience with an older character, and if they're well liked enough, they can come back for a future title. I think it's a clever way to reintroduce characters and give them a strong fighting chance to be a full playable character. Meeting the fans halfway, because there are plenty of characters we're missing from the 3D era. There's plenty to work with, and I think this is just a really fun way to introduce. I would really like to hear what duos you homies have been personally liking if you've played the game. Who is your main roster and who do you like to complement them as a team with a cameo? Or who do you want to see? Personally, previously stated, I'm a big Draman fan, and I would die if I could be playing Draman on the main roster and have Moloch as a cameo. Please, please let it happen, bruh. This game has a few years still in it. Please, let's get it going, Ed Boon. Hit me up, bro. Alright, well, I'm done giving the gameplay the gluck treatment for now. Let's talk about our first negative. There's no specific order. I'm just going to be going back and forth ping pong style until I'm running dry of ideas, so let's get into it.
The Shrine.
Alright, so this one's kind of a doozy. The Shrine. So there is a new system. It's kind of tucked away in the main menu. The Shrine is brutal for 3 key reasons. It only has a single price of 1,000 coins for a single item in return. But on top of that, it is painfully slow. And not only the starting animation to be spending your coins, but the cooling down for your next single item. On top of that, you could buy out the entirety of the shrine, which the majority of the items are concept art pieces, but even more on top of that, doubling down on top of that, they tell you, hey, gotta come back next season. Like, dog, why am I wanting to finish the story's art portfolio next month? Why not just let me knock them out now so I can focus on gaining cosmetics for next season? What the hell are you doing? Let me just get it out of the way. Like, don't get me wrong, I love concept art. I think it's fantastic. I want to see what hard work is being put into the game. But bro, I'm not looking to get like 30 pieces back to back when I'm looking for a Havoc helmet. So over on good old Mortal Kombat's Reddit page, when I saw a post saying, yo, the MK1 shrine sucks, I couldn't help but look at it because yeah, I kind of agree. It has its issues. It's not the worst, but it could be way better. I think a fair solution to the larger issue with this system, and for this idea, I want to thank and give a little shout out to same type of Stand 89. His idea was just spend like up to 10,000 coins and gain 10 items in return. That way you don't have to go through this super tedious one purchase for one item back to back, spending like half an hour on this super slow shrine. I think, yeah, if you just had the ability to dump it all in at once and gain a shit ton at once, it's a lot better. So again, shout out to same type of Stand 89, big brain move. You deserve a fucking medal. Let's hope they listen to that because that will severely save us a lot of time.
Story mode.
So I'm gonna say outright, Mortal Kombat 1 has the most original story mode yet, and I'm really surprised how well they handled it. One of my most favorite things, without diving too deep into spoilers, I will have a spoiler section later on, so just be aware. but I like that they're continuing what they set up last game. That's kind of a rarity with MK and their recent titles, Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X. They don't really go through with what they're setting up. So seeing that it was more represented in this title was a pleasant surprise, and I hope they continue very strongly with this. Something else I would like to get into story-wise are how they handle characters and even some of the older ones. One that I really want to start off saying is Scorpion. So for those who may not know, but I feel like a majority of us know, and that's why I'm not going to really give a big spoiler. Hanzo Hasashi is not Scorpion in this game. That role has been given Kuai Liang, aka the younger Sub-Zero. Bihan, the original Sub-Zero, is through and through Sub-Zero in this title. I was never a big fan of Kuai Liang taking up the role as Scorpion because I'm a diehard Scorpion fan ever since childhood, and it's kind of strange to see it be given to Sub-Zero, but I'm not gonna dive into the negativity of that right now, because for the most part, by my surprise, they handled it very nicely. I think it's a good way to cut deeper into this rivalry, them being family. There's the feeling of betrayal, the feeling of corruptness. It's kind of a nice, refreshed version of the classic Shirai Ryu and Lin Kuei rivalry. And I'm excited to see more. Even though it's Kuai Liang, it still represents Scorpion as a character nicely. It reflects well enough to be represented as Scorpion. So even though I have my own bias for Hanzo Hasashi Scorpion, I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue it with this new direction, because so far, so good. I think it was such a pleasant surprise. Excited to see more out of it. Now this is a big one. The return of 3D era characters, way too damn hype. Coming from Ashra, I kind of want to count Serena. She's more of like a 2.5D character, but whatever. Nitara. But most of all, my favorite, the main man himself, Havoc. I have been waiting a brutal amount of time for him to return. I was always hoping out since MK9, when Havoc was represented in new Cybots ending. So I'm happy to finally see him. I knew he was coming. I thought he would be coming in MK11, but look at me. I got bamboozled. But not anymore, bitch.
This is what it sounds like when the sky cries. Nuclear sound, the alarm is chaos and carnage. Bulls in the China shop of hip-hop and don't stop getting to the breaking in the band. Yes, I like to welcome y'all to the beginning of the end.
He's back, and he's ready to fuck shit up. And he has been fucking shit up. 3D era characters coming back, strong, redesigned, really fascinating through playstyle and characteristics. I think Havoc did end up getting a little bit of the weaker end, but that's okay. I want to also dive into characters like Baraka and Reptile for getting deeper depth of who they are and why they're fighting, and most of all, humanizing them. I think Baraka was the best example. Reptile did fine, but Baraka had a good emotional layer that they dived into, and it made me feel a little heart tingle. I was like, damn, it really made this motherfucker. They made him capable of being rooted for, and not just a typical jobber. I'm looking forward to seeing what other 3D era characters might come back. I'm really hoping Draman, yet again. Yeah, I'm still on it. But even as cameos, I think it's good enough. Mabato is coming back.
These spiky cleats.
Cleats? That's pretty cool. Something worth noting, all the arcade ladder endings where you pick your characters, you go through a certain amount of opponents, win it, you get a tower ending. Turns out all of them are canon, so that's kind of a nice touch, and I wanted to add that since that is story related. You know what? For this next con, let's talk about
Nitara.
Don't I scare you in the least?
I feel like this is a very hot topic right now. Not necessarily a hot take, because I feel like the hot take is everybody's take, or a good majority of us. This whole thing about hiring a famous name with little to no acting experience is quite brutal. And it's weird to me because Megan Fox is literally an actor, a well-known one, maybe. Why did they feel the need to do this? We gave Ronda Rousey a pretty hard time. but I don't understand the gimmick outside of marketing and getting to talk about it more throughout, you know, everybody being like, oh, can you believe this? This is weird. Outside of this marketing gimmick, I think it's a really bad idea. It really weakens not only like the respectability, but man, you really weaken this character's introduction 17 years later. That's rough. All the Nitara fans, it's cool that Nitara is back. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling less excited now that their character's voice is, for the most part, kind of obnoxious. I think the most memorable line Megan Fox had was her literally hissing into the microphone. That's kind of unbelievable. Also, let's talk about this beautiful TikTok ad. One of the cringiest, most brutal advertisements I have ever seen. Them trying to hype up, but miserably failing. I'm not gonna lie, it's worth a fucking laugh, bro. This is crazy.
Hey, remember Nitara from Mortal Kombat? Well, she's back in Mortal Kombat 1, and get this, she's voiced by Megan Fox.
Whoa, that matchup sounds genius.
Totally. Well, Megan Fox is a longtime fan of the game.
Really? Let's hear her.
Poor Kung Lao. You'll never see her again.
Dang, she's mean. I like it.
Yeah, Megan's slaying.
Jeez. Fuck you. Dog shit, bro. Anyway, hold on. Man, when my sweetheart sent me that over TikTok, like I had no plans of fucking adding this to the video, but just kind of talking about Megan Fox and her performance and advertising all that, of course it got sparked in my memory that this is a thing. You know what's even funnier? Of course they fucking turned off the comments. Gee whiz, I wonder why. Alright, anyway, we're gonna go to another pro. I'm getting sick of this. I'm getting heated. Okay, so a new pro for the single player experience, we got
Invasion.
kind of neat. It's a replacement of the Towers of Time, but even they still have a dedicated spot for those kind of towers specifically. But outside of that, there's these things called mesas. So it's kind of a big maze-like map, open world. You can kind of go node to node, fight to fight, with a couple of mini games scattered throughout. There's like ambushes and all this stuff, skill points, a level up system. Oh yeah! It resets every season. You earn seasonal items, you earn currencies, you earn experience for your characters. And they said they're kind of dipping into RPG territory, which is neat. And for the most part, it's pretty alright mode. It's fine, it's good at best, you know? But the best part about this mode, personally, I think is the story that comes along with it, because it is, again, canon. There's invaders that go into Liu Kang's perfect timeline, quote unquote, and they're there for one reason or another to cause some chaos and fuck shit up. First season being the season of the Spectre, which is Scorpion. And guess what? It is Hanzo Hasashi Scorpion, so that's kind of the best representation of Hanzo Scorpion we're gonna get in this game. But you can see his new design, pretty fresh for the most part. And he has a whole new reason of being there. He has a kind of a continuation from MK11's ending, if I'm being honest. I don't know if that's like intentional, but it's just kind of funny how it works out. Like, clearly there's some sort of inspiration there. But these come with a variety of cutscenes from the beginning of the season of what's happening and why he's there. Then there's like the before you fight the big bad boss, the big bad boss of invasions. And then after you beat him, you get to see what happens afterwards, how Liu Kang takes care of this issue. And let me tell you, Scorpion, I fucking loved his ending. I think it was fantastic, and I'm glad this shit's canon as hell now. Also, the artwork representing these stories are just so damn good. I think they did a great job this time around. I don't know what about it, but super smooth, very nice, very good. Good job, guys. Okay, so this con, I feel, is a little on the nose. Mortal Kombat 1 being the title of this game. Look. Mortal Kombat X, because X is also the number 10. Sure, why not? Let it ride. But then they go back to using numbers. Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, yeah, sure, let's go with it. Oh, you're not technically doing a sequel, so you go back in time again as a reboot. but not really, as Mortal Kombat 1. What the fuck are you on about, dog? Just call it Mortal Kombat Rebirth. Mortal Kombat The New Era. Mortal Kombat Liu Kang is tired of your shit. Like, call it anything but Mortal Kombat 1, because guess what? You know how many Mortal Kombat 1s I'm gonna have to dig through to talk about this one? It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb, bro. No wonder Mortal Kombat is getting called Mortal 1 Kombat. Like, that way you know what it is better. It's so fucking silly. Oh, yeah. Have you seen Mortal Kombat 1 at all? Oh, you mean Mortal Kombat 1 from 1992? No. Oh, you mean Mortal Kombat, the movie from 1995? No. Oh, you talking about Mortal Kombat from 2022? No. Mortal Kombat, the game from, 2023 from a few months ago? Yes, that one. Fucking idiot. I might as well slap the shit out of you. What are you doing? Stop doing this. Just bring back cool titles like Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon. Nice and simple, but also represents what's happening and sounds badass, bro. Tell me Mortal Kombat Rebirth does not sound like the dopest and most represential. That's not a word, I don't think. It just represents the game good. Let's go with it, please. So heads up about story mode. This thing is 6 hours long. Can be good, can be bad, depending person to person. I personally, for the most part, think it was a good idea. Give us more to work with. All right, so here's a big pro in the section of fatalities. Ooh, oh, super brutal. Censor me too. So I think a great, fantastic step is that these fatalities feel the quickest they have been in a while. A lot faster. I don't know if it is, but it feels like it, so fuck me, I don't know. If someone's gonna time it and compare, now I'm gonna look like an idiot, but I don't know. Either way, they look a lot better too. I love this one Scorpion fatality called Killer Clones, which is kind of a callback to Mortal Kombat 3, where he just summons a bunch of himself. And he just goes to town on the guy. I feel like that one kind of feels a little bit longer than the others, but at the same time, it's so smooth and badass that I can't help but enjoy it. Another note of a fatality that comes to mind is Garrus's second fatality, where he does an infinite loop of traumatizing before killing the opponent. It's kind of absurd. Man opens a portal, pulls out your head, smacks you with it, and gives you your own head to stare at. And it has a horror music crescendo sound effect or whatever. Right before another portal summons behind the guy and rips his head off, starting the cycle over and over and over. It's like, what the fuck, bro? You're traumatizing the guy before killing him. That's a whole new level of fuck the fuck up, bro. But yeah, pretty awesome. Keep it up. What the fuck? On top of that, I've noticed more and more there's a lot of movie references. It's not only in fatalities, but I feel like it's very clear. Sub-Zero has kind of what I feel is an obscure one. Maybe not to anime fans. Spoiler alert, I'm not much of an anime guy. Sue me. But there is a reference within Sub-Zero's first fatality that's directly, almost scene for scene, based on this movie Ninja Scrolls. Pretty badass, and funny enough, I've even seen that movie. That's a funny one. That was a wild movie. Then, there's Shijiko and Liu Kang's throat that are both Kill Bill with the heart exploding technique. Pretty neat, pretty badass. Okay, and then this one gets a little weird, but Rain has one that's the Bible, parting of the Red Seas. I don't have much to say on it, but it's cool. It looks good, and it's brutal. So hey, good job, Rain. Good job. Pat yourself on the back on that one. There you go, buddy. You did good. All right, here's that spoiler warning. Sign the alarms. Sign the alarms. It is spoiler time. So in the story, the big bads, right, that end up being the master manipulators. It's a good and a bad, right? It's a good thing because it continues off of MK11's what if ending, and turns out it is not a what if. Excuse me. It is the big bad Titan Shang Tsung, because turns out that make your, choose your destiny ending of MK11, where you pick either Shang Tsung or Liu Kang to take over for this big cool finale ending. They both are canon. The fight between the two titans were so intense that it shredded time and reality and spawned a multiverse, getting into some Marvel bullshittery. But not really a bad thing. I'm not there yet. I'm not the con yet. But I like that it's continuing off and really pushing forward what ifs and what has become, I guess. I don't know. But my gripe with this thing is the big bads are a Deadly Alliance 2.0. It is a Titan, Quan Chi, and Shang Tsung as the big bad finale. See, I think it's good until you play the towers or the story mode and realize these guys be weak as fuck because they're not anything special. They're not even a boss. They're just another guy. Because fun fact, it's just a copy and paste of Shang Tsung, the pre-order bonus character on the main roster, rocking the skin. So it's nothing big. It's not even like MKX's Shinnok, where yeah, you beat the roster Shinnok and he turns into a big corrupted scary form. It's just Shang Tsung with a shitty NPC variant of Quan Chi being a cameo. And he's not that special either. Half the time I forget he's even there because I'm too busy walloping on the big bad boss, supposedly. It's just kind of a disappointing way to end the towers and whatever. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of lazy. It feels weird. See, what I would have preferred is maybe for a second phase, swap in like Quan Chi so Shang Tsung is the cameo, because that way maybe you have a more cool feeling of the Deadly Alliance truly being a Deadly Alliance. And that, or maybe just make them do some crazy shenanigans that give them an extra phase of some sort of power-up Super Saiyan shenanigans. I don't know, there's so many things you could have done. Maybe in the tower ending, do what they did for the main ending. Just summon a bunch of these random alternate timeline what-ifs. That way you can keep that cool concept of the ending and represent their boss fight more intensely. You gotta kind of endure a bunch of fighters to truly beat the Deadly Alliance. There's just a lot of stuff they could have done. And you know what? I hate to say it, Chronica was a way better boss fight. What the fuck, bro? How do you take this baldy-ass Caillou-looking time bitch, setting herself up for failure throughout the entire thing, but still ended up being a way better boss fight? Bro, that character be whack as fuck, bro. Miss Chrome Dome over here making you, Titan Shang Tsung, and you, Titan Quan Chi, who's equally bald, looking like a pair of bitches be crazy, bro. You gotta feel bad. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
User interface.
Let's talk about the UI. I think it's clean as fuck, fresh as fuck, compared to MK11. Let me just tell you, that was a headache to deal with. Not only do you have like the store hidden in one side of the screen with the press of the trigger, and the other one's like a whole other fucking dailies and currencies and whatnot. Trying to go game mode to game mode, being separated in two different ways through selection cards on one screen, then you tab over to a different selection of screens, but you don't need all that. Fuck that. Look at MK11. You got one list with individual little tabs under each listing. Nicely put. One big ass thing on the side of the screen. It's not even that big. It's just there. It's just there. It looks fresh as fuck. Let's keep it simple. You don't have to make it a edge maze of The Shining, getting all mixed up in my brain, going insane. I just want to go to a game mode, and maybe go check out my characters. You don't have to mix and match with this confusing UI bullshit. I mean, I played MK11 for 4 years straight, and I still have a fucking tug-of-war match trying to go to one thing to another. It's an absolute pain in the ass. I think they really botched it with that. Let's look at MK9. Simple. It is still the freshest menu they've ever had. Awesome artwork, kind of interactive with this whole X-ray thing Sub-Zero's getting his fucking skull bashed in. I love it. I wish we had more something like that. MKX, kind of mediocre. It does the job. It's fine. It's nice to have a variety of backgrounds. That's cool. And then Mortal Kombat 11 comes in, just shits all over it. Absolute disaster. But hey, we're bringing it back. Sure, MK1's really simple, but you know, sometimes that's better. Shit, I think it's a step forward compared to 11, man. 11, in my mind, set the bar low on so many things, it's kind of crazy. But hey, we're talking about the good of MK1, so that's where we're at. That's what we're going with. I like the background. I like that I can just go to thing, nice and easily. It's all listed and displayed right there. You don't have to make everything a visual spectacle. I'm good. Let's keep grooving. So I want to talk about character progression, mainly
Customization.
I don't entirely mind the downgrade compared to MK11. I think MK11 kind of set the bar low in a lot of ways, but hey, damn, they got customization down. I mean, it's a step above Injustice, I'll tell you that. I think having 3 options was fine, and MK1, you know, trying to step it back with only 1 optional piece, it works better on some characters than it does others, and the main thing I have to bring up is Shao Kahn. I do not want to play this motherfucker without his iconic skull mask. I feel dirty. I feel wrong to play him, you know, in a little skimpy hood or this crown thing. Nah, fuck that. Give me my threatening, ghoulish skull mask wrestler looking ass crazy man. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but he's cool as hell, and he just ain't the same without it. That is iconic. That is his brand. That is his style. I'm not gonna play him without it. So I'm pretty much just stuck with 1 cosmetic. It feels wrong. But like then there's Scorpion, you know, all the ninjas, all of them have the mask option. I think that's perfect, because all you need is an outfit and a mask. It works. But Shao Kahn, you know, his axe is cool. I'm not gonna lie, there's cool variety, but you should give him a helmet. The fact that Reiko is out here stealing his style with all these mask options, half the time I'm thinking, why does he look like a better Shao Kahn than Shao Kahn? Or sorry, General Kahn, but hey, I'm not gonna call him. Fuck you, I'm not calling him that. But the customization, I wish they would rework. You know, I don't think it's possible at this point. I just feel like it's, you know, a double-edged sword. Works great on the majority of the cast, but kind of falls flat on some of the characters. I think, you know, need certain items customizable. It's just unfortunate. It is what it is. I hope in the future we get more skins that represent the characters better. And again, it's mostly Shao right now, in my mind. You know, sure, it kind of sucks we don't have more Melina mask options. You know, it sucks that maybe, no, we can't. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think it's mostly just Shao Kahn. I don't know. Fuck me. Sorry, I guess it's just poor Shao Kahn moment. I don't know. Shao Kahn, you got done dirty, bro.
The roster.
Roster selection is pretty well done. I think it's a good mix of old and new. I don't mind that they keep a certain selection from the past games, you know, like MK9, MKX, MK11. They kind of have the same certain amount of characters that have been transferred from game to game, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a huge selection. Some of them you have to include, of course, like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Liu Kang. Like you need them. Like they're a staple. They should be in there, right? But it's also nice to see some of the more sideline characters when it comes to rosters. It's nice to see characters like Smoke and Rain making a main roster. I think they deserve that time to be a part of the main cast. Rain being DLC fucking twice, MK9 and MK11 fucking NPC'd. Damn, like hella nerfed in X, but whatever, he looked like shit anyway. Prove me wrong, tell me that ain't the worst design out of all fucking 4 games right now. Anyway, but of course the huge plus here. 3D era characters that have been long overdue. They deserve this time. They've been waiting in the shadows far too long. Especially you, Havoc. God bless you. By the Elder Gods, you've made it, my boy. I'm proud of you. And hey, Nitara. Sorry. Sucks to be you, Megan Fox. Alright. But cameos don't feel as out of place, thankfully. I think they're very well implemented when it comes to them being a part of the Fatal Blow, being part of the throws. They have a whole toolkit of special moves. So I feel like they work in there really well. So hey, even if you know, you're feeling like you miss a character, it might be a cameo. You know, we got Jax, we got the Robot Boyos, the Duo, the Robo Duo. We got fucking Serena. I know it sucks that she's not main cast, but she's still there. It's better than nothing, and at least you're still gonna see her all the fucking time. I mean, Serena, especially, you're gonna see her all the fucking time. So hey, you kind of win-win there, right? Still there. You're seeing her all the fucking time. I'm sorry, I'm like scarred from Kombat League. I get hit by that thing. A fucking duo sickle throw bullshit. Anyways, that's not much of a con. I'm just PTSD over here. My bad. But I keep hoping that they're gonna bring a larger variety instead of the mainstays. Well, let's see here. We got the worst for last, the biggest con of them all, and I mean this is a heavy one.
The Big Oofy.
The lack of content on release is miserable. Feels like it's gonna heavily hinder the game. I see some like 3,000 players dropping off because there's not much to do. It's a shame. It's fucking a big bummer. And now I'm not super sure how like business, tactics are, or whatever the fuck, the complexity of WB or what they're going through. I don't know all the shit they're doing, but I feel like maybe, just maybe, WB was like, panic. It was like, yo, we gotta shove this game out now. Because we got our competitors. Street Fighter 6 is killing it. Tekken 8 is gonna roundhouse us back to the Stone Age. And our movies are sucking ass. It just might be relating to big hero movies flopping and, all these competitors. It's looking rough. Or maybe they're just a bunch of fucking big dunked brain buffoons. I don't know, man. I just don't fucking know. I don't blame Neatherrealm Studios. I don't blame Ed Boon. I don't blame none of them. At least for right now. I don't know. I think it's a WB thing. I wish I didn't feel this giant empty gap of things to do to keep us occupied. I'm not looking for something as greedy as MK11 to constantly want my attention. Like I have to work around their fucking schedule, a needy little baby. But something to keep my mind going as I'm trying to continue playing outside of ranked matches, right? Look. As soon as the game dropped, I had the story being out right away. Invasions was a piece of cake, fucking blasted through it. And then I kind of got bored. I started unlocking all the tower endings, and I even mastered a variety of characters. I got them pinned down in gold and whatnot. But now what do? All I have is competitive. All I have is ranked and casual and beating up my friends. There's not much to do. Like what? I'm just gonna sit around with my fucking cajillion coins of all variants. I just have all this currency to spend on nothing because I have the entire store, I have the entire shrine bought out as of right now. There's nothing I can do. I can just wait for the upcoming season that refreshes in like 40-something days. Or them adding what should have come with the game already. Titan battles, chess combat and motor combat. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, it's just kind of absurd. This giant empty feeling, right? Because I feel like there's not much to do. I feel like there should have been a lot more, especially if they're wanting this to be on par with MK11. You know what? Here, I'm gonna give MK11 some props. They had plenty to do, right? They had the crypt, they had Towers of Time, they had rank, they had Combat League, they had, all this shit, and of course story, and then they added Aftermath. Although, I'm gonna bring it back a bit, that shit kind of forced you to keep playing because that shit was grindy as hell. But hey, there was plenty of shit to unlock regardless. There's plenty of cosmetics and stuff. But with MK1, you kind of buy it all out really quickly, or you just unlock it if you choose to really spend your time on a character. So it kind of takes away the playing time a bit. So what are you left with when you feel complete, like you've got everything? You just fight people. That's it. And I ain't gonna lie, Invasions is not looking strong compared to what Tekken 8 might have as a side mode. And Street Fighter 6's free roam create a character. I'm worried Mortal Kombat 1's gonna lose the race here for greatest fighting game of the year. I think it's bound to happen, and I hate to say it because I fucking love Mortal Kombat with all my heart. It's my favorite series of all time. But it's not looking great. But hey, I still think the gameplay is phenomenal. I think there's a lot of good with this game, but there should be a lot more. And, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I think they should have kept this baby in the oven a bit longer. Because we got an undercooked baby right here. I don't know. That sounds kind of awful. That sounds gruesome. Hey there, freaks and carnies. I just want to say, if you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate it. A lot of time was spent on this video, trying to juggle it in between, day jobs and streams. So, thank you to all who have supported and have been patient for this video. I'm hoping for the next video, it's going to be a lot smaller of a project. This one has taken weeks. Again, greatly appreciate it. If this video was maybe informative or, made you chuckle here and there, maybe consider dropping a like. Every little bit helps. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you keep trying to be the best person you could be in this crazy, crazy world. All right. Adios. Bye-bye.